Hey everybody, Mark here at Discover Your Home. Thank you again for joining me this Thursday evening. And tonight we're going to talk about your mudroom and extra storage space in that mudroom. A lot of times when homes are constructed, some people will call them mudrooms. So we'll call them laundry rooms or utility rooms. But we're going to use mudrooms because that really seems to be the lingo that's pervasive in the building industry. So a lot of times you'll find that there'll be a small counter space, washer, dryer. It'll kind of be a multi-purpose room. So it's generally the pass-through from the garage to your kitchen or, somewhere in that area of the home. And a lot of, it's funny because a lot of homes nowadays, I find a lot of our customers are not going through their front door. They end up going through their garages into their homes and don't even really access their homes through the front door. So the mudroom is really kind of the center of activity when it goes to getting out the door, especially if you got kids in sports or other activities like band and things of that nature. So what is your mudroom used for? Is it used for laundry? Is it for storage? It's kind of that place where you kind of just dump everything, kids' shoes, the soccer shoes, the football shoes, the baseball cleats. Is everything just kind of dumped there? Hey, Rosie, how you doing tonight? Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. It's a place where everybody kind of dumps their shoes off when they walk in the door, drop their keys, maybe their phones. It's a kind of a central hub for you getting out to the world. So it really can be very disorganized. There's a lot of stuff that gets dumped there. I've been in a few homes, especially you got 3, 4, 5 kids, and say several of them are in sports activities. A lot of stuff kind of gets piled up into a corner, and then you throw a dog or two in that mix there, and you find that it starts to take up that room. Dexter, dog collars, you're going to walk them, the little waste bags, and dog food or cat food, and litter boxes. So the room can get cluttered pretty quickly. So most of us just kind of stack it or dump it or push it in a corner or throw it on top of one of the countertops, or if there's a small mini fridge or an additional refrigerator in the room, you just kind of throw stuff on top. So how can you access more storage? And what we're seeing in the marketplace that folks are deciding to do to kind of get their lives just a little more organized, especially when it comes to getting out the door there. So what are some things that we're seeing out there? What would you do? Closed cabinets, where you can kind of shut things away. That's a great option. Open cabinets or kind of locker style systems with benches. Great for kids, great for especially if you're on the go and you got several kids. Hey Elizabeth, how you doing? Thank you for joining me. I appreciate that. There's a lot of different ways to go about it. So here's a couple things. So I'm going to say if you've got 3, 4 kids and they're between their 9, 10, 13 up to high school, and that they're real active and they're looking to they're active in sports or they're active in other activities. We find the locker system really works nice. It's very similar to what you see in kind of these pro athletes in their locker rooms when you see them, when they interview them after a game, where it's kind of open and there's an open storage area and there's an above storage area for like their helmets and hats and equipment like that. So that's real nice. It's also where you can build also a shoe storage underneath the bottom of the locker. So it'll be kind of bottom area for shoes, middle area for coats, jackets, maybe shoulder pads, upper for hats, helmets, scarves, all those sort of items. So we're seeing a lot of that. Also, possibly putting a bench on, where people, trying to get 2 or 3 kids together tying their shoes, and they're trying to get them off to a soccer game or a baseball game, and trying to get them out the door at say 9 in the morning, and they're not real, let's say, cooperative. You want to be able to have them kind of sit their keisters down and be able to tie their shoes and get them out the door. So that's a great way, especially for young families that are active and looking to organize some of the things they do to get out the door. Also, let's talk about maybe the use of like kind of cubbies, where you can kind of build in little cubby walls for smaller things, baskets, that you can put inside the cubbies, which is real nice, kind of be able to make a larger wall, kind of a cubby system. Depends on really your needs as a homeowner. If you've got kids, maybe you're empty nesters finally. Maybe the kids are out the door and you've taken in a few pets. I know a lot of my customers are adept. Oh no, that's the wrong word. Adopt some rescue animals, and they like to do some things in that area as far as their pets go. So it really depends on your scope of where you're at in life and what kind of your plans are moving forward. Hooks to hang jackets on. Maybe also putting in kind of an area for you can put in like I'm drawing a blank here. Like a station for charging your phones, charging your iPads. Since we are such a mobile society today, it's kind of nice maybe to build in a niche and put a nice area there where you can have, a couple charging stations, so you can go ahead and charge your phones and get out the door, and usually throw your keys there or your wallet or your purse. It's really a good place because a lot of times I find that even in my life, you get a little disorganized. There's kind of a place that you kind of set your keys, and if they're not there, it's kind of Panicsville, and especially if you're in a hurry, or you forgot about, you had to go to, say a PTA meeting, and then you had to get Johnny down to soccer or Susie to volleyball. So it's a nice place to kind of set things to get you to the outside world. So when you're looking at that mudroom, when you're coming through there again, you might want to start thinking about doing some changes. There again, locker systems, cubby holes, putting in small niches, putting in your charging stations where you can keep your keys, your purse, all your personal belongings so you can get out the door. It's a really great way. We're seeing a lot of that now in the marketplace, and it really depends on where you're at in your journey in life. So we find that our empty nesters are really kind of gearing up for a different avenue in their life. Grandkids start coming in, so they start seeing the need for a little more organization. Because I know, hey, I've got several kids, and it can be absolute chaos, and there can be stuff just kind of tossed around, and it certainly doesn't hurt that you get a little bit more organized. It makes the day go a little bit easier. It makes the weekend go a little bit easier, especially when you're rushing from one event to another. So hopefully these are a couple ideas that we can help you guys with. If you have any questions, reach out to us. I just want to say thanks again for joining me. I'm Mark at Discover Your Home, and have yourselves an awesome evening.